Okay, so I'd just like to show you connections. So we're going into the connector hub. So here's where you can add connectors, so Dynamics, CBA, so Microsoft Teams and Excel. So what we can do is I've already pre-configured this. So yeah, if you look, we've got an Excel. So we've all connectors are divided into the environment. So whether it's a production or UAT environment, production has much tighter governance controls about what can occur, whereas UAT, it's a lot more flexible. So over here, I've got an OData connection into a Dynamics environment. So if I open OData Workbench, I can look in here and look at like credit cards as an example. I think it's credit card codes. It'll then load the schema. I can then kind of look at what the credit card codes are within that system. And then over here, I've got the Demoton bank account, mock bank account, so we can edit these connections, delete them. If I go edit here, I can test those credentials. Everything's encrypted. But what that'll then do is we'll go into a playground. So each type of connector has a different flavor of playground. So Excel, you manage in the file, you'll sync the schema in the workbooks. Obviously, we just saw the OData, but with the bank account, what happens is we connect to an SFTP server. So this underline this is what's where all the files are gotten, so retrieved from. So basically, yeah, you can see I've connected to an SFTP server. There's nothing in the inbox. In the outbox, we can differentiate between statements, credit card feeds, and BPay. So the statements in a BAI2 file. So if you open that, it interprets that file. If someone tries to download it, it does give you a security warning. So we log all of you can't make manual changes. If you download a file, every action a user takes in regards to this highly sensitive connector is logged. So it actually then links to a bank account within Dynamics in this instance, and it interprets what that BAI2 file contains. You can then push that statement to the ERP, or you can schedule reoccurring. When you schedule reoccurring, it will schedule it with your ERP, whether that's Dynamics FinOps or Business Central. If I go into the BPay, it's just a CSV file. There's my biller code. There's all the CRNs on that actual file. And then in the outbound, what we can do is when we want to pay vendors, we can link it to Dynamics. We can then choose the legal entity. I'm just going to choose Contosa in this example. I'll put in the journal batch number, the payment journal. It will fetch it from Dynamics using this OData entity, and then it will pull it back here. So yeah, you can see I've got the vendor, Microsoft Office Works. It's linked to that bank account. And this is the invoice. If I then generate that ABA, it'll take a bit of time. It'll then generate that ABA, and it will have sent it through into the SFTP, in this instance, inbox payments, but different banking providers have different directory structures. So that is basically how Demoton handles Dynamics FinOps and banking integration.